Eugene can't be a heel. Eugene's a feel-good story. Hey everybody, Nick Dinsmore back with this week's episode of Dinsmore's Commentary. We're going to go back to 2006, the Nationwide Arena in Columbus, Ohio. It was Eugene and his partner Hacksaw Jim Duggan against the Spirit Squad comprised of Johnny and Kenny. The losing team had to split up. This was the infamous heel turn that Eugene attempted. Everybody asked me about this. Was this supposed to happen? Was Eugene supposed to turn heel? Well, I'll tell you here in a bit. But a couple people that really want to know, Panda Plays, Josh Forbes, and Jordan Bailey, thank you for requesting this video. This was one of the funnest times in my career to wrestle with my friends and try something that I hadn't tried before. Eugene as a heel. Check it out. The Spirit Squad had the best just entrance with their megaphone, and they were just a heat-getting team. I mean, male cheerleaders. I mean, really, come on. The big megaphone that they had for the longest time, I used to take that thing every live event and I would go hide it. I would put it in the rafters, I would put it behind somebody's bag, I'd put it in the shower, put it in the toilet, not in the toilet, but like in the toilet room, and they'd always have to go look for it. Well, then they won the tag team titles. And I remember one particular time we were at the gym, John Cena, myself, and Johnny from the Spirit Squad, Johnny Jeter, who wrestled at OVW, and I trained him. We used to ride together. Cena, Jeter, Eugene. And they had the tag team titles, and we were at the gym, and Jeter was in the shower, and his bag was well open, and there was the WWF tag team title at the gym, wide open for anybody to be able to take or see. So I thought, I'm going to teach this guy a lesson right now. He's a good friend of mine, you know. I was his trainer, his coach. And so I just put the belt in my bag. And then as we're driving to the arena, I hear him kind of talking behind me on the phone. You have it? You have it? No, I don't have it. And then I see all of them at the building when we get there. I still got the title in my bag. Oh, I don't have it. And they're all getting nervous. A couple hours went by, and none of them ate. They were sweating. It was just, they were so nervous. And I finally gave it back to them because then they had to concentrate on the events at hand that night. But I'm not one to rib. I don't like to rib, but I don't like to be ribbed. Hacksaw was a great partner. He was at a point in his career that he's still working today, but he had limited things that he could do. So we would always accentuate his strengths, hide his weaknesses, and try to make the team in the match look as good as we could. I remember Hacksaw actually came up to me one time and said, I know you're protecting me, and I know you're making me look as good as I can be. And he goes, I really appreciate that. And to have a veteran, Hacksaw said that, back in the territorial days, the young guys would have just made the veterans, look silly and let them embarrass themselves, and they would eventually not have a job. And he knew that I was trying to make the most out of everything that we did, which is what I always tried to do. Kenny was young when he was hired. I think he was like 19. 20. He wasn't too old. I think that's why. He still looks great today. He's back on currently. Johnny came to Louisville, Kentucky from San Diego, California when he was 18 years old and started training. There was a tryout in Cincinnati when HWA, Les Thatcher's HWA in Cincinnati had the developmental system. There was a tryout, and the only time I'd ever asked for anything, I said, can you just let Johnny have a tryout? He doesn't even need a hotel. He can come back home to Louisville. It's only an hour and a half away from Cincinnati. He went to the tryout. He was the only guy to get signed. Wasn't invited, walked on, got a job. It was phenomenal. I think when the Spirit Squad most recently has come back on TV, he was contacted about it, but I think his current work, he didn't want to risk giving up the job that he has for something that might or might not work out, and I admire him for that. He's a great kid. Love him to death. There's Eugene right there, getting ready to tag Hacksaw so he can make the big comeback. There it is! Big hot tag. Jeter's coming in. And clotheslines for everybody. Stand there and let Hacksaw hit you. So the thought of turning Eugene heel had come up once before. And it wasn't me, but it was quickly dismissed because the thought was, Eugene can't be a heel. Eugene's a feel-good story. if anything, what you do is you take Eugene off TV for 4 months, 5 months, then bring him back, and all of a sudden he's almost like he's a new character again. Much like, the guys like Jericho do with their part-time schedules, right? And the second time, I tried to give it everything that I had. I didn't know if it was going to work, but it was a challenge. And I think I did the best that I could with what I was given. Whoa! Push the referee. I literally blew myself up. I was hurting so bad, beating him to death with this 2x4 right here. Has Hacksaw ever been hit with his own 2x4 before? I couldn't whack him over the head with it, so I had to do the best. Oh! Great shot right there. Great shot. But I feel like Eugene and Hacksaw were mid-card guys at this time. I feel like camera work is like shaky, like it's crazy. I was just trying to be as blown gasket crazy as I could. But I feel like because we were mid-card guys, that the people might not have cared too much, or maybe they didn't let the heel turn run its course. Give it a little more, feed me a little more, because I think the next week I might have possibly been on Val Venus, and I might have even been like a heat match, and then it was gone. It was a 2-week thing that just disappeared. I don't know. Going down in infamy. So that was it. The big heel turn of Eugene. Going crazy on Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Leave me a comment about this. I really want to know what you guys think. And if you want to see the entire heel turn of Eugene play out and what you thought about it, give me a thumbs up. That's really what I want. That's Eugene's thing. I stole it from Mick Foley, but thumbs up. Subscribe. You got to get these every time they come out. The new episodes are phenomenal, and I want you to share them with people. I'm just telling you what I know, the life that I lived, and the commentary that I had for the art that I put out there, Lastly, if you haven't seen last week's episode, go ahead and check it out. It was great with Superfly, brother. Jimmy Superfly Snuka. I'll see everybody soon. I'm Nick Dinsmore, and I'll see you at ringside.